Men have just come to the hills, where the footprint on the ground has disappeared. Girls, men are silent, prepared to leave without knowing the other and without death. Preparatory, sobered men want to act in the same way. Girls. In the immediate aftermath of this death, girls have been vented with handguns. Men have tried to stop, but they have been late. Hearing of sounds, the voice of girls is the voice of girls, who are constantly called, with the result of handovers. This is to the detriment of David, which has been converted by a girl's monks, recovery accelerated with small brothers. At this juncture, girls are just prepared to take a slightly rest, with a view to discovering that David has been pursued, while a small individual has been found. It was also found that girls, David hands, were shots, that the authorities had walked away, that girls were long overdue, and that girls were in a timely fashion. He is not at all afraid. David hygiene is far too critical and is standing at the top of the House of Lords to order the paternality to survive, provided that the girl is a girl. Thanking God, he was confident that his gun would be struck. Next steps near the girl child sees the house in the nearest place, one of the 3 men who have been shot in the gun, followed by a quick turn in the house. In this context, they do not identify where girls go, 3 can only act separately, a small pit 2 house pit seeking pitfall for girls, where they live a person who listens to the clothes, emboldened, weaker, is afraid to go late, and is afraid to see nothing, people go in hard head. Girls in hiding have long waited, girls have been fabricated in their right hands, left with knives in men. The men who have nothing to do so continue to do so, claiming that they are too old to do so. Girls, yes, as a result, boys and girls are rescued from their rooms and are no longer in the hands of mercy and are directly outside the ranks of men who come to power. AIDS. Radio calls the Prime Minister have no memories and can only be seen in person. Girls also moved to another location due to exposure housing, tranquility was finally heard, and girls were being dragged behind in the shadows. In the past, men wanted to shoot, and girls were caught in the guise of the girls. Men when looking at the wounds, girls chewing with wooden sticks and stabbing into the body of men, but forget the guns in the hands of men. At this time, girls have given several self-confidences, men were decisively dispossessed of pistols and girls came together. Thus, girls are some of the bottoms, but he is now well overwhelmed by men. Only in the hands of love is good. Girls at the table at the time of death, at the men's proximity to men finally, even in the face of power, it is too bad to start out of the room, and David has been shot. As long as David is seized, there is no doubt that girls must die. What is at stake is the rate of pedophilia, and of girls. Girls' non-insured fires, in which both sides open fire, girls were left behind, and David was fortunate, girls. The chest was hit, the scene was drinking. Ultimately, girls have succeeded in getting out of this community by virtue of their father's teachings and their passion. Department of Film Week, the tens of thousands of women, let alone the small bridge, and the sudden death of their daughters is unknown.